Okay, wait. I just want to say, this isn't meant as an unfiltered hate video, okay? So thank you, internet, for not canceling me today. Anyway, I'm sure many of us are aware of the new Avatar The Last Airbender live action. Despite a more mixed reaction than Netflix's previous live action adaptation based on beloved animation, yes, I'm talking about One Piece, it's been positive enough, or made enough money, to have been renewed for 2 more seasons to finish the beautiful story. Last time I did lay out some major problems with the series. Well, I'll be honest, I did make fun of it quite a bit, but I'm actually happy that they will get a chance to improve and finish the story in future seasons. Truth be told, let's be real here. This video didn't have to be just about one scene in each show. I could have literally talked about, any and every aspect of the 2 shows and how One Piece did it better. Not trying to be rude or anything, but, from casting, acting, CGI, action, music, character dynamics, set design, practical effects, stunt work, pacing, adaptation quality, cinematography, emotion, exposition, teleplay writing, dialogue, world building, season premiere, season finale, every episode in between, and so forth, But alas, I'm not here to talk about that, even though I kind of just did. I could go on and on, but in reality, all that stuff just kind of seems, like an obvious comparison that's probably already been done before. So what I actually want to talk about, has probably also been compared before, let's be honest, but don't worry about it, is this glaring difference between the 2 Netflix shows that is probably the most impactful on its viewers, at least in my opinion. And that is its themes from character writing. AKA the message, the takeaway, the lessons, the meat, the big cheese, Okay, now I'm just getting off topic. Getting into it. Here we have 2 characters. We have Nami from One Piece, and we have Katara from Avatar The Last Airbender. Spoilers, by the way. Now, both Nami and Katara are incredibly well-written characters in their original presentations. Now, the One Piece live action clearly comes from the people who understand the characters in the world, but also from the original mind of Oda himself. So the spirit and the meaning of the story was intact during the adaptation process. And now the Avatar live action. This is partly also from the original creators as well, although they left, and now we kind of know why. And partly from, I'm being honest, passionate lovers of the series, and you can tell that often. But you can also tell often that it is hugely from the studios making this for Netflix, and the studio mindset. Now, back to Oda. He brings us a series about dealing with trauma to gain a hopeful and inspirational sense of freedom. And at its core, that's what One Piece is about. Of course, you have different characters dealing with different things, but something that they all have in common, at least all the Straw Hats, is that they've had to overcome trauma to reach their own freedom, and freedom in each other. And it's great. It's beautiful. And Avatar, now without the original creators in charge of what happens to their baby, falls on the studios at Netflix, who bring us a series to appeal to society, empowerment and stuff, but mostly to make money. Some of those words I just said might concern you or rile you up, for better or for worse, I don't know. But I already told you, this video isn't mindless hate or whatever, any of that. There's too much of that online, and I don't want to be even associated with that kind of videos, but I do want to try and make aware of how harmful a message can be in the media, and hopefully, instead of leaving this on hate, leave with a positive message. So now, our 2 approaches to storytelling here and character writing. Let's talk about Katara first. I'll play a scene here, but brief description of what we're going to see here. Here we have a character who has a goal before the scene, right? And that goal is to train her water-bending skills under a wise master. Now she sees this master, who appears to be welcoming at first, and it's all great, but then it's revealed that he's part of a culture that doesn't let women fight in battle. And Katara, of course, is frustrated by this setback, by this annoyance, by this discrimination, all that, but after proving herself to the master, he does end up seeing another side, and he trains her. She went through all this because she understood the discipline needed to hone this skill, and that she simply can't perfect it alone, but that she also has to build off of the wisdom of her elders and those who have gone through this as well, paying respects to them, but also to herself. Which is why she was so persistent that master teacher, and eventually that help was provided, and he saw another side, and she became a better person for it. And hold up. That's not it. That's the animated series. Shoot, sorry. Okay, what's the live action then?
You little peasant! You found a master, haven't you?
Yes. You're looking at her.
Ah, yes. I knew my previous description sounded a little too much like actually good writing for it to be, you know, a significant part of the live action. So yeah, okay, anyway, what we actually have here is Katara wanted to hone her skills as a waterbender under a great master. After realizing the master's culture is against training women as warriors, she says, forget it. So she sulks for a bit, you know, wondering what to do. She talks to Aang, who, by the way, is not a master waterbender. And then, yeah, that's about it. And then we see her fighting Zuko. And now her time shines. Only to reveal that she never needed a teacher. There was no way she actually needed help. If help was turned away, it's actually because there was no use asking for it in the first place. That power is inside of you and only you. There is no one you need besides yourself to reach your goals. Saying you only need yourself is an incredibly dangerous theme to come off as sincere about. Also, the fact that Aang doesn't learn waterbending from any of the masters he met is a concerning sign for how they're building that part of the story in future seasons. Now, before you go and type, oh my goodness, no, Avatar's about friendship, what are you talking about? Okay, yeah, there's an element of being, you know, strong with friends, but that is a huge part of the animated series. Absolutely. But this live action, it sometimes touches on it, but really it mostly feels like it's put on the sidelines to focus on other parts of the series, and that's just an issue that came with the writing, which is just something I hope that they fix in future seasons. And part of that might be like, oh no, they actually did, but it's just because the exposition was so terrible and the dialogue was so poor that that theme failed to come across. Maybe they tried, but in the end, it wasn't a huge part of the story. And now we're here to talk about Katara's scene. And they play this moment of Katara to reveal a different message than that of what we're used to in Avatar. Now, before you comment on how much of a stretch this is as well, you know, that nobody watching the show will actually take its themes to heart like that. What are you talking about? I just want to let you know, Avatar The Last Airbender. I'm sorry to hurt any of your feelings, but it's a children's show. It's for children. Now, obviously, you know, it's made so that everyone can get something out of it, and I know it has dark moments too, and all that stuff, and it's a really, 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 really good children's show. Like, I don't want to diss it, I'm just saying, its target demographic is kids. So, you think that kids won't be seeing this new show and like, oh my goodness, let's watch that as well? Yeah, no, that's gonna happen. Leaving people with an idea that they only need themselves to succeed, you know, and that they need to rely on themselves rather than learning from others is setting them up for failure in life. It's incredibly harmful, not to mention that it's a message that fails to understand what actually makes us all human. Now, looking over at One Piece, how does this creative team and Oda, you know, handle a similar subject?
I told you to get the hell out of here.
You did.
Then leave. You don't know anything about what's going on here.
I don't.
Luffy. Help me.
Oh no. Every time. Nope. I said I wouldn't cry. Anywho, there it is. The scene that defines One Piece as, well, One Piece. I know it's weird to say here, but Nami's character was written by a dude. It's insane, you know, to think that a man has written a female character just that well. Because I know we're not led to believe that it's impossible in the world today. And honestly, you watch a lot of movies and shows and you're like, yup, you were written by a dude. My goodness. It's painfully obvious, and it's a real problem in the industry, but it actually happened. Anyway, here we have Nami, a woman who has grown up with the philosophy that Katara's character in the live action is teaching us. And that is, you're the only person you need, and you don't need help. Your capability comes from you and you alone. That's what Nami's trying to live by. Now, Nami's village was taken over by Arlong. You know, her mother killed in front of her, and in order to save her village, she strikes a deal with him. Bring him 100 million berry, and the town is freed. She has to pledge herself to the Arlong pirates in the meantime. In the live action, she's also shamed by her village and seen as a traitor, even further cementing her worldview that she has to do it alone. She devotes the rest of her life here to being chained, worked, and abused by Arlong and his crew, and also while stealing from other pirates to accumulate enough berry to save the village. And when she finally has enough after spending so many years like this, Arlong goes and orchestrates the corrupt Marines to dig up the money and take it away. And after all that, Nami realized that Arlong just tricked her into wasting all of those years. After the shock and buildup of loneliness and hatred, she explodes. Which, by the way, is something Avatar doesn't bring up live action again, not animated series. And who knows, maybe they will fix this, maybe they're using it for development, but it doesn't seem like it. And they might never do it with Katara's character, but they showcase her, I'm the only master I need moment, which, by the way, we've seen so much, and it's getting ridiculous. But they showcase this moment as being triumphant. However, they don't tell you that this way of living is in and of itself unsustainable. It's simply, you can't sustain this life. The destructive behavior will eat away at you until you explode with whatever terrible implications come next. However, looking back at the One Piece live action, we see the theme of Nami's story, as she heartbreakingly resorts to self-harm. It's a very difficult scene to watch, but also it's an incredibly executed scene. We see Luffy come in and stop her, and Nami isn't some perfect, flawless character that can never fail. She's written like an actual person. She has problems, she has struggles, she loves, she laughs, she hates, she cries. And all this comes out as Luffy, who Nami had previously tried to push away, insists on being there for her. And we realize along with Nami that it's okay to ask for help. Nami asks Luffy to help her, and she can't go on alone anymore. She knows she needs help, so she reaches out her hand, and Luffy accepts it. Love that guy. Luffy, my man, you the best. Now, many people are saying this, I know, but these studios need to stop pandering to what they think people want and just allow the creative teams to actually write characters like characters. Looking at Nami, she's an incredibly interesting character because she's written with layers. Characters that are incapable of failing are just boring and not effective for good storytelling. Take Luffy, for example, since we're talking about One Piece. We don't love him because he's always perfect and happy and never makes mistakes. No, we love him because he makes mistakes. He messes up. He has flaws. He has goals that he fails to accomplish. And it works towards developing his character. We love Luffy because he's always trying to do better to deal with his flaws, not because he doesn't have any. Love you, Luffy. Now, Nami isn't the faultless, boss-like character. She pretends to be until she realizes that help is actually a good thing. And now she can just be herself around those who she loves and who love her. And this is where, One Piece succeeds, where I think that the live-action Avatar, quite honestly, failed. While Avatar certainly has a mixed bags of messaging, it tries to tell us through Katara's character that we're all we need, even though sometimes they say a different message, but they fail to bring it all across. Now, One Piece shows us through Nami's story, as well as many other stories, that embracing our human spirit is actually good for us. Our human spirit is resilient and capable, yes, but it's also dependent on the connection and help from others. Being strong does not mean being alone. The help we have from our loved ones is what brings us that true strength. That is not a false pretense setting us up for more sorrow. That is real empowerment. That is a good message. Thanks for listening, by the way. I've been Shin Glassman, along with a little reminder of those beautiful subscribe and like buttons. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.